Hi, I know it's been a while, but I'm back. My name is Patricia. So this is gonna be probably my third video being uploaded. I did not go back and look at all the stuff that I had. I think the last video I recorded was in November, and I was supposed to continue my journey with weight loss and getting my body back after having my 7th child. However, life be lifing, as they say. So I didn't quite make that goal. My consistency was thrown off, and I'm here to tell you why and what I plan on doing moving forward. So in December, it's just, having 7 kids and being a wife and teaching and stuff like that. And then I mentioned before that I am a fashion designer. So just the demand of the show that was coming up in March got crazy, where I was a little behind on a lot of the my collections, because a lot of pieces for my collection that was being shown, and my children was models in the show. So they had to go rehearse to the rehearsals and stuff like that, and I just didn't have that much time to, you know, I didn't have that much time to really do much. And I, some days I was just so tired because my 1-year-old, then I was still breastfeeding, just would not give me any sleep. So I was sleep deprived. I was trying to get ready for a show, and just dealing with the whole demands of being a mom of 7, and just teaching and being present. Again, lack of sleep. It was just a lot on me, and trying to be consistent. And I would record videos, and I know I could upload it because I don't really edit like that, but it was so many ideas and so many things that I'm like, okay, I need to fix that, I need to fix this. And when the thought of just going back and editing stuff and then uploading it, I didn't have the time. So with that being said, there's a couple other things happened, like my father-in-law died, so I had to be there for my husband as well, and that was just crazy. I don't know, if I felt like maybe it affected me more, even though I did not grow up, well, me and my husband's been together since we was 15. I'm 38. Well, since I was 15, he was 17. So we're high school sweethearts. But I've met my father-in-law a couple times, not to say, he was always there, but I know he was a decent person. So it kind of affected me. I know it affected him, but my husband is like a hardcore, okay, this happened, let's move on kind of thing. He doesn't like to show his feelings like that. So for me, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is a loss. Like, I don't, take those things that lightly. And I knew, like, in the coming weeks, they had to decide, if we were going to the funeral for our kids to see, that side of the family and stuff like that. But ended up that he went with his mom and stuff like that, and his siblings, and we stayed here. So it was just me and 7 kids by myself, and I felt like a wreck. Like, I usually can do that, but then just considering the circumstances, the toll of him passing, and then the toll of, oh my gosh, I have these kids, and I have to, take them to school, and then just like, it's like he was gone for a week, and I'm just like worried about him too. So you have a spouse, you know, I even though he has this hard shell, I know when things affect him, and he doesn't see it, but I know him. So that kind of took a toll on me. I tend to like take on other people's like emotions in a way. I don't know if that's how, you know, I just feel for others um, a little bit too hard than, you know, too much for me. I don't know. Like, I take on too much and I shouldn't. Or I take it to heart too much and I shouldn't. Um, but it's just me just caring. So that happened, and I believe it was like January, February. So, and then, yeah, I think it was in February. He left to the funeral, and March 15th was my first show coming back as a designer. So, you know, I still had some garments to create, some last pieces. Um, so I was still, you know, working the, just 2 days out of the week, just teaching enrichment after school. It's like an hour there, hour here. So it wasn't that much, but I still put my all into anything that I do, and I kind of would overdo it sometimes. So for me, it was, you know, me just overdoing. And it's just a toll of, you know, the incidents with my father-in-law, and then my, you know, feeling for my husband and his sisters, and my sister and his brothers, and, you know, navigating through that, and then trying to juggle the kids, and my 2 enrichments for the week, and the holidays, and then holidays pass, of course, but you still have that kind of like lingering, okay, now we got to catch up kind of thing, so it's still there. But March came around, and now we have rehearsals that I have to drop these kids off, and then I have to have the garments ready for you know, like dress rehearsal, and I wasn't prepared. But 2 weeks before the show was my birthday, and the day before my birthday is my son's birthday. But March 1st, I started seeing double, and I don't know if it's because the lack of sleep and everything else of like just basically built up stress, but this is my first time having that happen, and I was like a mess. Like, I did not know if I was gonna be able to see again, if it was getting worse. I went to the hospital. I spent a day, like basically the whole day in the hospital, March 2nd. And I got my hair done on the 1st, thinking, I'm like, okay, maybe I need to go to sleep. This is not normal, but I know, I feel like if I go to sleep, I wake back up, I'm gonna see straight. Nope, I went to sleep, got back up, seeing double, and went to the hospital. My mom came down, watched the kids, and well, my mother-in-law watched the kids, and my mom came down and met me at the hospital. I was just like crying, sobbing. I'm like, why does that have to happen to me? I don't know what's going on. And I'm like praying, and I'm like, God forgive me. And just stressed out. And I know, like, I felt like I was just overly stressed the last month or so, with everything happening and everything just in demand of what I needed to do. So I think that's what did it. But then in the hospital, they can't really diagnose it as stress. They did 2 CT scans, 1 MRI, 2 with dye, and they didn't see anything but like a partially empty cella, and they said it couldn't be that. I I seen the optometrist in the hospital, and they said my eyes look normal, it's fine. And I'm like, this is not in my head. I see double. And then they figured like one of my eyes was like lazy. So the muscles though, when they looked at it, it was like, it looks good. So they couldn't tell me what was going on or what was wrong. My blood pressure was up because I was stressed out and crying, and I didn't know what was going on. So each day I kind of just like went in this phase. I didn't want to eat. I didn't want to, barely wanted to sleep. I didn't want to be alone or nothing. But I prayed. I fast. I barely ate anything, but I prayed and fast and just having conversation with God. So I'm thinking these last 2 weeks, I'm a, you know, celebrate my son's birthday. I don't really think about my birthday as much. I did treat myself to just basically a hairdo, to, you know, look good. Look all right. Then the third came, and that was the day after I came out of the hospital. I still was seeing double, and I'm over there sobbing and crying, and it was my son's birthday. And you know, I felt even bad because I'm like, I'm a mother. I want to be present for my children. I want to be able to see their faces, you know, the right way. I wanted to be able to, you know, do things. Even if we didn't have that much money, you know, just get my son some cupcakes for his school, you know. It's, you know, you know, I was just supposed to be celebrating their birthday because my first son is the third, and then my last child, which is my second son, he's on the 9th. So I was planning on having both of their birthday parties together, and that was going to be on the 9th because he's turning 1. It's his first birthday, so why not? And then have the 6-year-old with him, and he was fine with that because he's a boy, he don't really care. But I asked him, he didn't care. So I was trying to do that. However, here I am over here seeing double, crying and praying and just, you know, and I felt like God was probably just telling me to sit my butt down and focus on him and relax and rest. I think that probably what it was. Because I did slow down a lot. My son, I got a little cake for him, even though I had a panic attack in Publix, because everything, when you're seeing double, it's like everything is crossing and going crazy, especially when you're in a crowd of people. It's just like you cannot focus and see. So I didn't want to be inside the house, and I had my husband drove, but I decided to go inside the store with him, and I was like, I can't do this. I got a panic attack. I can't do this because I couldn't see. And my kids, like, if I can't see you right, and I want to protect you, especially when we're in the store, I don't want nobody snatching you up. So I was like, okay, I'm taking the kids and I'm going to the car. So I sat in the car with my babies while my husband got the stuff, and you know, we was able to get a cake for him, and it was on my birthday, but I wanted to still celebrate him because I'm grown. So I felt bad I didn't get a chance to get, you know, the stuff for him for his birthday, his actual birthday. And I usually do that if it's during the week. They have a birthday, I get them some cupcakes, take it to school, and then on the weekend then we celebrate, you know, have a party. So we got a chance to come home and sing him happy birthday, and which I was happy about that. I didn't want a cake or anything. Even my mom always saying, oh, you sure I can get you a cake and everything? I was just good that I'm able to celebrate my son's birthday. So fast forward, I had my husband drop me off and my two younger kids that stayed home with me while the others go to school to his mom's house so that she can help me with them while I kind of rest and, you know, still battling this double vision. And I didn't know if it was going to go away. I didn't know what was going on. I was just trying to rest as much as I could, pray as much as I could, and I was in some deep prayer. Just thanking God, asking God to restore my vision, just asking Him to just, you know, reveal. I didn't believe that, you know, this was the end of me as a designer, just trying to spread His word through fashion and everything. So I just kept praying. I ate, like, if I ate something, it was gonna be like fruit. It wasn't anything else, like, and I wasn't eating like that too. It was like one meal a day kind of thing, and it would be like smoothie bowls or something. So as the time went on, I was still seeing double, especially in my right eye. Even though people say, oh, it's my left eye, and then I had to try to get a appointment for a ophthalmologist, in which that was hard because they were so booked up, and neurology, which I still haven't even seen neurology because that appointment is in November sometime. So, but I did see a neurologist in the hospital. They did some little, you know, follow my finger thing. It's like, oh, okay, you're fine, kind of thing. And I'm like, okay, how does that help? They couldn't tell me anything. They didn't see, well, thank God they didn't see any hemorrhaging, any tumors in my brain. So praise God for that. So my brain looked healthy, except for the slightly empty cella. But so, you know, just doing that every day, just, you know, wondering if it'll heal, just asking for God to restore my vision, to, you know, because He is, and prayer is so so effective. He did restore my vision, but it took from, you know, me Googling, oh my gosh, it's people like, oh, you should get it back in 24 hours. Like, that was not me. I'm like, day after day after day, I'm like, what's going on? And then I did like a steam treatment and stuff like that, and stuff just started running. And that's when I felt like a little bit like, you know, things are, you know, getting better. You know, I could see better close up, but far away was the problem, which I wear glasses naturally, so far away usually is blurry to me. But I'm not like on a big, I have like a -1 prescription, or 1.25 or something. But now it's on -1, and it's funny because, you know, after this situation, like when I went to the ophthalmologist, even seeing double, he gave me a prescription that was less than the one before. So my eyes got better, but then I don't know how that works. But so you know, Thursday came and I felt like I'm getting a little bit better. Friday came, I'm like, okay, I can see, like, you know, when I did this little testing, like I can see where it appeared to be double right about here, but then here would be good, kind of thing. So I can watch a movie. I just got to cover one of my eyes and I'll see straight. So, which I wasn't really comfortable even watching anything. But so after that, I just kind of like, you know, started seeing better and better, you know, more distance after that, you know, Saturday came around, and it started on a Saturday. It came around, and I could see I wasn't seeing double as much. Um, and I could see further without seeing double, but now patterns kind of messed me up. So I can tell my eyes was getting better, but I still needed some more time. So I got where I was at rehearsal and letting them know, look, my eyes is not all that tip-top shape, but I can go back and design. I had so many people like, I wouldn't go back and design. I would just rest, and I would, but I'm like, looking at it, I dedicated myself to this, and I'm not going to, just give up. I'm not a person that I give up too easy. So I said to myself, look, God is restoring me. It's taking time, and it's taking time for a reason. So I went in there. I started back designing. Even though I had some pushback, I'm like, could someone watch my 2 younger kids so I can get this show done? Even though some people's opinions were strong, they didn't want me to go back. And so, but sewing is very peaceful and stress relieving to me, especially when I create something. And I know I had a purpose because my clothes housed scriptures. And when I had one of my models come and try on the pants that I created for her to wear, the scripture that was in the pants basically said, spoke to her. It's something that she was praying. She was praying for, confirmation that, for her to just let go of all the anxiety and all that. So when we had that moment, and she read the scripture that was in the thing, I believe it was John chapter 4, verse 27. I forgot, but I have the pants in the shed. I put different scriptures, so I kind of forget which ones is like a spirit moment, whatever I feel like, okay, let me put that in this pants is gonna say this. So when I had that moment with her, it was just like confirmation, yes, I'm supposed to be doing this, and no weapons formed against me shall prosper. So when I had that moment, I'm like, yes, I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna slow down though, because I would have done an all-nighter, got up, still juggle the kids and everything, and not get no sleep, and still feeling crappy. So I'm like, I still have 5 garments to do in this 1 week. I still have 7 kids. I still have, they're here. I have 5 girls, so here to be done, and my 5 girls were my models too, part of my models. So it was easy for me to just be stressed out and just be like, you know what, let me forget about it. Maybe they're right. But I was like, no, I heard something different. So I continued, and I already had people feeling like, you have 7 kids, you can't do this. And I'm like, I have to show them I can. I really don't have to show them because I don't have to prove anything to anybody, but to God be the glory, because I know he made me strong. So with all of that being said, I did the show on the 15th. My babies came out. I actually finished a dress. I made a bow backstage to finish up the garment. I made 2 dresses that morning of the show. Was a little bit late getting to the show. And once we got there, the lady was like, close the door. Nobody else is in, because everybody else should have came here, on time. So I'm like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. How everything just fell into place. I was amazed at God, seeing his hand move. And so I made a bow right before my daughter had to go on stage wearing a dress, and I sewed it on there, hand sewed it. And everything looked nice. People loved it. And I felt accomplished. Even though my eyesight was not all the way back, on tip-top good shape, whatever, it was enough for me. I got to walk on stage, and just with my baby girl. It's my youngest daughter, 4 years old. Her first time modeling at 3, and she was the youngest one in that show. I got to see them. I got to walk down, as the designer of this collection, housing God's word and everything, holding my baby girl's hand and bow. So that all of that was worth it, I felt like. And I know now, even moving forward, that I have to rest. I feel like, God gave us that instruction for a reason, so that we can be on our game. And I know I still struggle with resting, but I'm working on it, and I'm working with God on it. So I don't want to have to go through that again. I do not wish that on anybody. Oh my gosh, that was difficult. That was difficult, especially not knowing what was going to go on. I still don't know why, but I had a, that was just my thought as to why. And but that was, I did 3 shows since, I did 2 more shows since that first show, so 3 shows in total. Today is August 27th. Yeah, Wednesday, August 27th. And so my next show is supposed to be November 1st. I'm supposed to be working on that now. And I'll see you guys in the next video, because I have some more to tell you guys. This video is already too long. But before we leave this video, the word of the day is Deuteronomy chapter 31 verse 8, and I wrote it down. The Lord himself goes before you and will be with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged. And basically that's what Moses was telling Joshua. And before handing the Israelites being the leadership to the promised land to Joshua. And that just like telling him that God is with you. Don't be afraid, because he's gonna take care of you. He's gonna take care of everything. So on my journey, I'm always reminded that God is with me, regardless of what obstacles that come my way, and he's going to take care of me. He's going to set up things in the right order as to what it should be, and see me through every obstacle, every issue. And I'm gonna just continue to remember that. But I'll see you guys in the next video. I got more to say. Bye.